But a top story. Veteran left activist Govind Pansare and his wife are critical but stable after being shot at by unidentified men in Kolhapur in the state of Maharashtra. Pansare's family has said that they did receive threat letters before this attack but did not take them very seriously. The family has now sought justice, saying there has been no headway in the Narendra Dabolkar murder case, which took place a few years ago, and this case should not go the same way.
जो कोई रैशनलिस्ट है इंडिया में, जो कोई प्रोग्रेसिव माइंडेड है और जो कोई समाज को आगे ले जाना चाहते हैं, उन सबको मुझे लगता है कि एक तरह का खतरा बन गया है और ये बहुत सीरियस बात है और जिस पर ध्यान देनी चाहिए। जो बातें वो करते थे, जो कुछ बताते थे स्पीचेस में, जरूर उनके अपोनेंट्स थे और जो ऐसे कई लोग होते हैं जिनको ये अच्छा भी नहीं लगता था और ऑडियंस में ऐसे लोग होते हैं, हमें पता है, लेकिन थ्रेट्स भी आते रहते थे।
More than 24 hours after the attack on Pansare, no arrests have been made so far. The police has detained 5 people for questioning. They are relying on the statement given by people who heard gunshots and took the couple to hospital. A big stumbling block for the probe teams is that there has been no eyewitness in the case. The state government set up 10 teams to probe this attack.
This is the exact location in Kolhapur where the incident took place last morning around 9:30. Now I'm standing at the exact location where we can see that the Kolhapur police have barricaded the entire area, and we can see that there are white circles made where the police examined that there were bullets they found here on the same place. What we are getting from our sources that 5 rounds were fired, and after the incident, now police has barricaded the entire area. We can see that there is a huge police force deployed here, and additional SP Ankit Goel is also present on the spot. He is talking to police here, and also he is talking to the neighbors who have seen the entire incident. If we talk about this area, if we talk about this location, this is just 1 or 2 minutes away from the house of Govind Pansare, because behind me there is a house of Govind Pansare. So this was just 50 meters distance from his house, and in his house there were his family members present there. They heard the noise, they heard the noise of shouting people, and after that they realized that the attack took place. And after that the daughter-in-law of Mr. Pansare came here, and she saw that both of them were lying here in the pool of blood, and after that she took both of them to hospital. This is the exact location. Now we can see that the police are investigating the entire matter. Police is not ready to speak on camera. We tried to speak to the additional SP Ankit Goel, who is present on the spot. We can see that he's examining the entire spot, but he's not willing to speak on camera. But what information we have got says that katta was used for firing. Katta is, if we talk about katta is a homemade, is a handmade weapon which was used for the attack. And somewhere the family members and friends are saying that yes, there was a similarity of the attack which took place in Pune on Narendra Dabolkar. So Pune police is now helping Kolhapur police. The crime branch of Mumbai is also helping Kolhapur police to investigate this entire matter. We will have to wait and watch with what information Kolhapur police comes out. With cameraman Mangesh Amre, Amrita Shedgen, Kolhapur for Headlines Today.
And news of the Pansare shooting has brought back memories of the attack on another rationalist leader 18 months ago, Narendra Dabolkar, who was shot similarly and that too in broad daylight in Pune by unknown assailants. Unlike Pansare, whose condition is said to be critical but stable, Dabolkar did not make it.
पानसरे जिन पर जो हल्ला हुआ है वो हल्ला सुबह के समय हुआ है और वो बंदूक से हुआ है। इसे वो कहना चाहते हैं कि जो कुछ हम बोलते हैं वो राज्य नहीं आया तो हम तुमको मारेंगे। लोकशाही में, डेमोक्रेसी में ऐसा नहीं हो सकता। नरेंद्र दाभोलकर जी को भी ऐसे ही बोला गया था, वैसी ही धमकियाँ आई थी। इसने हत्या की, इसे मास्टरमाइंड कौन है, ये संगठन कौन है, ये अतिरेकी विचार कहाँ से आया, उसका आपको हम सब लोगों को कुछ तो कार्य करना पड़ेगा।
And joining me live from Finland is Mr. Sanal Edamaruku, who is the president of the Indian Rationalist Association. Mr. Edamaruku, thank you so much for joining us here on Headlines today. My first question is, would you say that the recent and rising spate of attacks on rationalists across India is a sign of growing intolerance or to an alternate view of reason?
I think the growing intolerance that is coming up in India is quite shocking. I mean, some 3 years back, when I was leaving India, again in Mumbai, there was, when I was exposing a miracle, the intolerant group of people, when I was coming from this television studio, they have sent people from the church with beating sticks to attack me. I mean, I had to, later go back from the back way of the studio, and then cases were filed against me. And of course, I had to leave the country in such a situation. Look what happened to Narendra Dabholkar. A person 18 months back in 2013 September, when he was shot down. Some days before that, I've been talking with Narendra Dabholkar, and he said, he would be happy to protect me in Mumbai. And 4 days later, he was shot dead. And now the latest attack on Pansare is again shocking. And it's exactly like what happened to Narendra Dabholkar. What is happening in our country? It's a kind of a new intolerance developing all around the country, and especially in Maharashtra and Mumbai and adjacent areas. And this shows that we need to advocate very seriously the importance of tolerance and coexistence of ideas, and where people can speak out their mind without fear. And especially when people are speaking for a change, social change, for betterment of the society, the government has a responsibility to protect them. Rather, they are not on.
Mr. Edemaruku, then my next question was, in fact, that would you say that the state government in this case has done little to protect rationalists? My question is, would you say there's a systemic failure in going ahead and protecting rationalists in India?
No, we have a constitution which very clearly says that the promotion of scientific temperament and critical inquiry and humanism and spirit of change is part of our fundamental duties.
Yes.
And when we have a constitution like that, when we people are trying to promote scientific temper, which is our fundamental duty, the state has a responsibility to protect us. Rather, we are facing very serious problem at one side. And people who do not understand the gravity of the situation sometimes do not, of course, they need not respect us. There are people who even say that, well, why do you do it? Why do you provoke? But in fact, every kind of social change would provoke some people who are retrogressive. And that is important, that people who want to make a society like our society to a progressive situation need to be protected. Even the Narendra Dabholkar case, though the sketches of the murderers were available, nobody is arrested. Somebody was arrested from the clusters of a church in Mumbai or in Goa. There was a report, and nothing is heard about that.
Yes.
Nobody is in books. What is happening? Why they could not be arrested?
Before I let you go, sir, I believe you personally knew Mr. Dabholkar. His wife has now spoken out, I believe, just a few moments ago to the media after the attack on Mr. Pansare and his wife, and she's come out and said that her husband was killed in similar circumstances. She says people want to kill the ideology and the thought. Do you agree with her?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I knew Narendra Dabholkar personally. I've been one of the first writers in his magazine, Thought and Action. And I feel totally, a similar situation is further coming up. And anybody who stands up for reason, who stands up for common sense, who stands up for a change in the society has a serious threat, and that has to be, this threat has to be controlled seriously. And I fully share the views expressed by Narendra Dabholkar's wife.
Well, it's a fight even you're fighting while you are in Finland. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Edemaruku, on the